Okay, so we're still working on mean, median, mode, and range, and today we're going to work on some word problems. You might recognize some of the people that I've used for our word problems. They're familiar people to us. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you got your reference sheet handy and a calculator. All right, here we go. Number one, Mr. Stoll worked for his dad last week. He made the following amounts of money. Calculate the mean, median, mode, and range. So you can see on Monday he made $25, and Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we need to put our numbers in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to do it right here in this blank spot. So the smallest amount of money he made was Monday and Tuesday. He made $25 each. So I'm going to, Okay, and just like before, I'm going to cross them out. All right, the next smallest number is 40. And then 45 and 60. Okay, so according to our reference sheet, to find the mean or the average, I have to add up our numbers. So we're going to find the total amount of money that he made. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, so 25 plus 25, 40, 45, and 60. So Mr. Stoll made a total of $195. Step 2, we know we need to take our total and divide it by the number of numbers in our set. So he worked 5 days. So that's 5 numbers. So we're going to take 195 and divide it by 5. So he, on average, made about $39 every day. And since we're talking dollars, we're going to put a dollar sign. Median, that's our number in the middle. So I'm going to take one number off the left, one number off the right, the left, the right, and our median is 40. Our mode is a number that repeats, and we do have a number that repeats itself, and it's 25. And our range, the most money he made was 60, and the least amount of money was 25. So we need to take 60 minus 25 to get 35. And we're done. Number 2, Coach Caldwell ran the following number of yards in his football games. Calculate the mean, median, mode, and range. All right, so he had 4 games. So first, we need to put our 4 numbers in order from least to greatest. So it looks like game 2, he only ran 50 yards. Then game 3 was 75. Game 1 was 100. And then 135. Okay, we've got to add our numbers together. So 50 plus 75, 100, and 135, 360 yards altogether. All right, step 2, we have to divide by the number of numbers in our data set, and there was 4 numbers. So we're going to take 360 and divide it by 4. And we get 90. Excuse me. All right, median. We're going to come across something that we haven't come across all week. I've been waiting for this. We only have 4 numbers in our data set, and we know that's an even number. So we're going to have to find the middle of the middle here, okay? So I cross one off the left, one off the right. If I cross this one and this one off, I don't have one in the middle, okay? So these are my 2 middle numbers. So I have to figure out what number on a number line is exactly halfway between 75 and 100. Well, most of us don't have a number line sitting around, so we are going to use our calculator. We're going to find the average or the mean. We're going to do exactly what we just did, but only with two numbers. So we're going to take 75 and add it to 100. So I get 175 for my total. Next step, I just have to divide by however many numbers we just added, which was 2. So 175 divided by 2, 87.5 or 87.5. Okay, the mode. We're looking for a number that repeats itself. And on this one, every number is different. So we have no mode. Remember, we can't put 0 because 0 is a number. All right, range. Our biggest number is 135 and our smallest is 50. Okay, since those are pretty big numbers, I'm going to use my calculator here. 135 minus 50 gives me 85. All right, number 3, Stephen Adams scored the following on his math quizzes. Find the mean, median, mode, and range. All right, let's see if Stephen's a good student. It looks like he has all A's and B's on his quizzes, so he must be studying. All right, so let's look for his lowest grade. His lowest grade is an 83. Next would be 85 and 85. $90, and then his highest grade was a 97. Oh, Georgia. All right, step 1, add those together. All right, 83 plus 85, 85, 90, and 97. Okay, it gives us a total of 440. Step 2, divide by the number of quizzes he took. And we know he took 5 quizzes, so we're going to take 440 divided by 5. So his average quiz grade is an 88. That's a really high B. So Stephen's doing some studying. All right, median, number in the middle. We have 5 numbers this time, so we will only have 1 in the middle. And it is 85. Mode, number that repeats the most. And we have a mode this time. It is 85. And our range, we need to take our, oh, come on. Whoops. I got a new phone yesterday and it's, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's different than my other one. All right, range. We take the highest quiz score and subtract the lowest quiz score. And there's a 14-point difference. Not too bad, Stephen. Okay. This one's about me. It says Miss Jackson tracked the number of pages she read in her book each night. Find the mean, median, mode, and range. All right, so I read for 6 nights. All right, so the lowest number of pages I read would be right here, 5. And then on night 2, I read 6 pages. Next is 7 and 7. And 8 and 8. Not very many pages. I must have fallen asleep on the couch. All right, step 1. Add. 5 plus 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Okay, so altogether I read 41 pages. Now I have to find my average. About how many pages did I read each night? So I'm going to take my total and divide by the number of nights that I read. And I can see right here, I read for 6 nights. Okay, so we get a decimal, and that's okay. That doesn't mean we got our answer wrong. So we're just going to write 6.8. And we'll go ahead and put the 3, 6.83. So I didn't quite read 7 pages, almost. All right, median, number in the middle. Because I have an even number, I'm going to have to find the middle of the middle on this one. So I'm going to cross from the left, cross from the right, left, right. Okay, I've got 2 middle numbers. And this time they're the exact same number. So there is no number between 7 and 7 because it's the same. So that was easy. We're just going to put 7. In our mode, we're looking for a number that repeats itself. And I see 2 numbers that repeat themselves, 7 and 8. Both of them show up 2 times, so they're tied for the most popular. So our mode is going to be 7 and 8. You could also write it 7, 8 if you wanted to. Last, our range is 8 minus 5. And that gives me 3. All right, flipping it over to the back. Old Mr. Hornbeak was delivering the following number of pizzas at his second job. Find the mean, median, mode, and range. All right, so it looks like he delivered pizzas 6 days. So we're going to put our numbers in order. It looks like day 6 was his least busy day. He only had 12. And then 17. 20. Whoops. Thank goodness for erasable pen. 21. 25 and 25. All right, time to add. 12, 17. All right, Mr. Hornby delivered a total of 120 pizzas. Okay, I've kind of run out of room, so I'm going to just write it right here. We know our next step is to divide by the number of days he delivered, which was 6. So 120 divided by 6. He delivered about 20 pizzas per day. Not too bad. All right. Again, we have an even number. So to find the median, we're going to have to find the middle of the middle. So I'm going to cross out the ones on the end and the new ones on the end. And my 2 middle numbers are 20 and 21. If you think about a number line, or even think about money, what is right in between $20 and $21? If you can't picture that or do it in your head, we can always use our calculator. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to add these 2 numbers up together. We get 41. And then we're going to divide by 2. So we get 20.5. So going back to money, what's between $20 and $21? $20.50. That's what it looks like. All right, mode, we're looking for a number that repeats itself, and we have one. 25. And our range, big number minus small number. Big number is 25. Small number is 12. 13 is our range. All right, Miss Adams had the following number of Jolly Ranchers in a jar on her desk. Calculate the mean, median, mode, and range. So let's put our numbers in order first. So it looks like grape is the Smallest number with 3. We have 4, 5, and 5, and 8. Now this is a true story. Miss Adams loves Jolly Ranchers. She always has some. Okay, step 1, add our numbers. Okay, so she has a total of 25 Jolly Ranchers in that jar. Next, we have to divide. So we need to count how many flavors she had. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 flavors, so we're going to take our total and divide it by 5. And that gives us 5. So there's about 5 pieces of candy per flavor. Median, number in the middle. This time we had an odd number, we had 5, so we had one right in the middle, and it is 5. Okay, do we have a number that repeats itself? We do, and it happens to be 5. Let's see, our range, biggest number is 8, smallest number is 3. I know that 8 minus 3 gives me 5. Look at that, all of our answers were 5. That's pretty cool. All right, 7, Miss Ware kept track of how many pieces of mail she received in 1 week. All right, so let's put our numbers in order. I get more junk mail than I get real mail. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me get my calculator out. We are ready to add. 5, 8, 9, 9, 10. Okay, so she gets about 41 pieces of mail in a week. Okay, she counted her mail 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So we're going to take 41 and divide it by 5. She gets about 8.2 pieces of mail per week. All right, median, number in the middle. We only have 5 numbers, so we will have one in the middle. 9. Mode. We have a mode this time. It is also 9. And our range. Our biggest number is 10, and if we subtract 5, we will get 5. All right, last but not least, old Sergeant Smith. He wrote the following number of tickets during a month. So it shows us per week how many tickets he wrote. So, looks like week 2, he wasn't quite as busy. He only had 13. And then 14. Okay. We have to find the total number of tickets he wrote for the month. $64 tickets. He was busy. Okay, we have to take our total and divide by the number. And we know it's 4 because we had 4 weeks. So 64 divided by 4. All right, so on average, he wrote 16 tickets per day. I mean, not per week. All right, median, number in the middle. We only have 4 numbers. That's even. That means we're going to have to find the middle of the middle. All right, so cross out those 2. That leaves me with 14 and 16. If I think in my head, if I'm counting, I go from 14, what comes between 14 and 16? 15, okay? But I want to show you if you don't know that, and it's okay if you don't. We can find it this way. So we would take 14 and add 16 and then divide it by 2, and we get the same number, okay? All All right, mode. We don't have a number that repeats itself this time, so again, we're going to write no mode. And last question, the range. So our biggest number was 21, and our smallest number was 13. That means our range is 8. Okay, tomorrow is an exciting assignment. You get to use your M&Ms and then eat them after, of course. I'll see you tomorrow.